I want you to think about something for a moment. Picture your kitchen right after you've put away the groceries. You open the refrigerator, and there it is, that neat little row of yogurt cups. You feel a quiet sense of satisfaction, don't you? You've made a good choice, a healthy choice, something to help manage your weight, keep your bones strong, and maybe even give you a little boost of energy for the day. But what if I told you that this choice, the one you're making with the best of intentions, could be the very thing holding you back? What if it's contributing to that afternoon slump that hits you like a ton of bricks? Or that stiffness in your knees that makes the staircase feel like a mountain? The frustration is real. You're doing everything you've been told is right, eating healthy yogurt, avoiding obvious sweets, yet you still feel tired, achy, and maybe a little defeated. You start to wonder if feeling good is just not in the cards anymore. I am here to tell you that it is not your fault. You've been misled. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on the yogurt aisle. We're going to uncover how some of the most popular healthy yogurts on the shelf have more sugar than a glazed donut. And more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how to spot them so you can take back control and make choices that truly nourish your body and give you the vibrant energy you deserve. It's a confusing world out there, but you're not in it alone. If you're tired of the marketing games and want straightforward, honest health advice, take a moment to subscribe and join our community. We're all in this together. Now, let's talk about a clever marketing trick called the health halo. It's a fascinating psychological phenomenon. When a food product has one positive quality that we associate with health, our brains tend to believe the entire product is good for us. For yogurt, the magic words are probiotics, calcium, and protein. Marketers plaster these words all over the packaging, often next to a picture of a sun-drenched farm or a pile of fresh, glistening fruit. This creates a powerful illusion, a halo of health that makes us feel virtuous for choosing it. We see, made with real fruit, and we don't think to flip it over and read the ingredients list. We see fat-free and assume it must be the better option for managing our weight. We are so convinced of its goodness that we stop being critical. We stop asking questions. And that's exactly what food manufacturers are counting on. To put this into perspective, we need a benchmark for what sugary really means. Let's use something we all agree is a treat, not a health food. A classic, Krispy Kreme original glazed donut. How much sugar do you think is in one of those? It has 10 grams of sugar. Remember that number, 10 grams. It's going to be our yardstick for the rest of our conversation. As we go through this, you'll see how that health halo can blind us to the fact that we're often choosing a breakfast that's more of a dessert in disguise, setting our bodies up for a roller coaster of energy spikes and crashes for the rest of the day. The reason this matters so much, especially for those of us over 60, is that our bodies handle sugar very differently than they did when we were younger. Think of your body's relationship with sugar like a long-term friendship. In our youth, that friendship was easygoing. Our bodies, specifically our pancreas and our cells, were efficient. A little sugar from a cookie or a soda was processed quickly, no problem. But after decades of work, that system can get a little tired, a little less responsive. This is often referred to as increasing insulin resistance. In simple terms, the key that used to unlock our cells to let sugar in for energy doesn't work as well anymore. So, when we eat a high-sugar meal, the sugar has nowhere to go. It lingers in our bloodstream, and our body has to work overtime to deal with it. This process is incredibly inflammatory. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire. If you already have some arthritis in your joints, a high-sugar breakfast can make that morning stiffness feel so much worse. It can make your hands feel puffy and your knees ache when you stand up. Beyond joint pain, this sugar overload is a direct hit to our energy levels. You might eat that sweet yogurt at 8 a.m. and feel a temporary lift, but by 10 or 11 a.m., you crash. You feel foggy, irritable, and desperate for a nap. That's the blood sugar roller coaster. It also affects our brain health, contributing to that frustrating feeling of brain fog where words are on the tip of your tongue but just won't come out. This isn't a personal failing, it's a biological reaction. Understanding this gives us the power to change it, not by depriving ourselves, but by making smarter choices that work with our bodies, not against them. All right, it's time to head to the yogurt aisle. Let's start with one of the most common and beloved types, the classic fruit on the bottom yogurt. It seems like the perfect combination, right? Creamy yogurt and sweet fruit. What could be wrong with that? Let's take a look at a very popular brand, something like Yoplait Original Strawberry. It's a staple in many refrigerators. When you peel back the lid, you see that plain white yogurt on top, and it looks innocent enough. But then you dig your spoon down to the bottom and stir in that layer of red fruit. The package says it's made with real strawberries, and that's true. But what they don't advertise on the front is what that fruit is suspended in. It's essentially a jam, a thick, sugary puree designed for long shelf life and intense sweetness. Let's turn that little cup around and look at the nutrition facts. A single 6-ounce container of Yoplait Original Strawberry contains 18 grams of sugar. Let that sink in for a moment. Our benchmark, the glazed donut, has 10 grams of sugar. This seemingly healthy cup of yogurt has nearly double the sugar of a donut. Imagine starting your day with what is, nutritionally speaking, the equivalent of eating almost 2 donuts. Another popular choice is Dannon fruit on the bottom. Let's look at their cherry flavor. It's the same story. That sweet, dark red layer at the bottom is more of a pie filling than a simple serving of fruit. One of these containers packs around 21 grams of sugar. We are now officially in the territory of more than 2 donuts worth of sugar. You thought you were getting a dose of calcium and protein, but you were actually getting a massive dose of sugar that's going to spike your blood sugar, promote inflammation in your joints, and leave you feeling sluggish in a few hours. This is the ultimate betrayal. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I see the problem with the fruit on the bottom kind. I'll just choose a blended yogurt, or maybe a light or fat-free version. That must be better. This is where we have to become food detectives, because the ways sugar is hidden are incredibly clever. When manufacturers remove fat from a product, they remove flavor and texture. To make it taste good again, they have to add something back in. And more often than not, that something is sugar or a chemical substitute. Let's examine a common light yogurt, for example. Many light versions still contain around 10 grams of sugar per serving. So, even in the healthier version, you're still eating a donut's worth of sugar. But the bigger issue is the ingredient list. To keep calories down, many of these use artificial sweeteners like sucralose or acesulfame potassium. While they don't have calories, a growing body of research suggests these sweeteners can negatively impact our delicate gut microbiome, the very bacteria we're trying to support by eating yogurt in the first place. They can also, for some people, increase cravings for sweet things later in the day. And what about the other names for sugar? You won't always see the word sugar at the top of the list. You have to look for its aliases. Words like fructose, evaporated cane juice, corn syrup, fruit juice concentrate, or agave nectar are all just different names for sugar. For instance, a popular organic, whole milk blended vanilla yogurt might sound wholesome. But if you look at the label, it can have 17 grams of sugar, often from organic cane sugar. Organic or not, it affects your body in the exact same way. They are counting on you not reading that fine print. They are hoping the health halo of organic will be enough to make you put it in your cart without a second thought. The deceptions don't stop with the little cups. In fact, some of the worst offenders come in bottles. I'm talking about drinkable yogurts and yogurt smoothies. These are marketed as the perfect on-the-go breakfast or a healthy snack. They seem so convenient, but in reality, they are often little more than milkshakes masquerading as a health food. Their thin consistency means companies have to add even more sugar and thickeners to make them palatable. Let's take a look at a popular yogurt smoothie, something you'd find in any grocery store. A small, single-serving bottle can easily contain 26 grams of sugar. That's the sugar of 2.5 donuts. Some of the larger bottles that you might pour a glass from can have even more. You might think you're just having a small glass of a healthy drink, but you could be consuming 30 grams of sugar or more before you've even really started your day. That is a staggering amount. This is also true for many yogurts marketed towards children, like the ones in tubes or little bottles. Many grandparents buy these for when the grandkids visit, and might even have one themselves for a small, sweet treat. But a single one of those little tubes can have 9 or 10 grams of sugar. It's literally a donut in a tube. Imagine the impact of that on a small child, let alone an adult body that is more sensitive to sugar's effects. It's a recipe for hyperactivity followed by a total crash. The convenience factor is the primary selling point, but the nutritional cost is incredibly high. It's a perfect example of how marketing can lead us to make choices that are the complete opposite of what our bodies truly need. By now, you might be feeling a bit discouraged, and I completely understand. It feels like you can't trust anything. But please, don't let this push you away from yogurt entirely. The right kind of yogurt is a fantastic food, especially for us. The solution isn't to abandon the entire dairy aisle. The solution is to make a simple, powerful swap. I want you to start looking for one thing: plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. This is the real deal. Let me tell you why it's so much better. First, the sugar content. A standard serving of plain Greek yogurt has only about 4 to 6 grams of sugar. This isn't added sugar. It's lactose, the natural sugar found in milk. That's half the sugar of a single donut, and it comes with a powerhouse of nutrition. Second, the protein. Greek yogurt is strained, which removes some of the liquid whey. This concentrates the protein, so you get nearly double the amount compared to regular yogurt. For those of us over 60, getting enough protein is absolutely critical for maintaining muscle mass, which is directly linked to our stability, strength, and independence. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but plain yogurt is so sour. It's boring. And you're right, on its own, it can be an acquired taste. But think of it as a blank canvas. You get to be the artist. You are now in complete control of the flavor and the sweetness. The key is to add things that provide natural sweetness and a ton of extra nutrients. My absolute favorite way is to add a handful of fresh or frozen berries. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. They add sweetness, fiber, and powerful antioxidants. Add a sprinkle of cinnamon, which can help with blood sugar balance and adds a wonderful warmth. For some crunch and healthy fats, add a tablespoon of chopped walnuts or slivered almonds. If you still need a little more sweetness, a tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup or raw honey goes a long way. We're talking a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. A single teaspoon has about 4 grams of sugar. So, even if you add that, your total bowl is still around 10 grams of sugar, the same as one donut. But now it's packed with protein, fiber, healthy fats, vitamins, and probiotics. It will keep you full and energized for hours, not minutes. And as always, if you have any health conditions, especially related to your kidneys or blood sugar, it's a great idea to chat with your doctor or a registered dietitian about what works best for your body. The journey to better health can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be about a massive, complicated overhaul of your entire life. It's about making small, smart, informed decisions, one at a time. What we've talked about today isn't about making you feel guilty about your past choices. It's about empowering you for all of your future ones. You now have the knowledge to walk down that grocery aisle with confidence, to look past the flashy labels and the misleading claims. You can see a cup of yogurt not just for the health halo it's trying to project, but for what it truly is. By choosing plain yogurt and adding your own fresh toppings, you are taking a powerful step. You are telling your body, I am going to nourish you with real food. You are choosing stable energy over a sugar crash and calm joints over inflammation. This one simple swap can make a profound difference in how you feel, day in and day out. If this video opened your eyes, please consider sharing it with a friend or family member who might not know this information. The more we can spread the word, the more people we can empower. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next video. Thank you so much for your time today. Take good care of yourselves, and we'll see you again soon.